Personally, no, they're not. Not all of them, at least. And some are evil by association. Not evil because of their own intentions, but evil because they know what regime they're following and they're still following it. A special person's grandfather. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say, Chad.
From Nate, it says, curious where all of you stand on all Marines are evil. This includes Kobe, Fuji, Smoker, etc.
Thank you.
I don't believe all Marines are evil.
Yeah. How could you believe all the Marines are evil?
Their point is that they're willing
Exactly.
to
Not
work for this
all.
nebulous evil organization on some degree. People who say all cops are evil or all cops are
That's what I just said. They're evil by association, not because of their own intention.
bad.
It's a tough conversation.
No, I understand that. If you know the world government is evil, you choose to work for them. If they believe no, we could change it from the inside. How do you change it? Dragon chose to change it from the outside. He left the Marines to do so. You legit have a rebel in the world government in GARP. Part of their job is to serve the world government, and GARP is literally choosing not to do so. I'm not protecting them.
Right.
I'm not gonna protect them at all.
Well, I agree with some of what you're saying. It's deeper than that because there's a lot of them that
That
aren't.
makes me think, what the fuck was Rox really after? To make Garp and Roger. Actually, I don't know, man. He was going after the world, right? He was wanting world domination in terms of like he's at the top, right? But would it be worse than what was currently ruling the world? And I feel like it is, bro, because I feel like Rox knew some shit, dog. Like I'm talking about emu level knowing. I think he knows some shit, bro. And Roger and Garp were basically trying to combat that, you know? So they probably feel like they were protecting the world from a greater evil compared to emu, which is crazy to think about, right? Which is crazy to think about.
the world government and this higher class of people. Yeah. Some people aren't willing to become outlaws themselves, like the revolutionaries, to try to make other more meaningful change. So you go into this, okay, I'll be a Marine because it's the best option available to me. There's also other people that are just actually evil in the Marines. So to me, I don't believe you can put a wide blanket on anybody in the Marines in that way. If you want to say
I
being
feel like they're really lazy to actually have picked that question because that's very like there's nuance to the word. It's too general, you know. The topic is nuanced, but the question is very generalized. Like it's a quick conversation. It's a no. Not every Marine is evil because you have your Kobes, you have your Halmepos, you have Halmepo was evil, and we saw his character arc in seeing, um, in training under Garb and training with Kobe, right? And then you also have your Aokijis who don't want to work under Akainu, who is very much evil in our sense, in our perspective, right? Yeah, he's holding on to his own brand of justice, but at what cost? You know, at what cost? And it's almost like he only sees orders. He doesn't see morality. He's literally a dog. He's the magma dog. He's the hot dog. That's crazy too. That's a crazy nickname. But like he's like just full throttle, thorough, just doing it. You know, that's his justice actually, thorough justice. And then you have your, on the other hand, your Kizaru's are in between that lazy and thorough justice. He does things at a correct. He does it to the order, but at his own pace. You know.
organizations and not actively trying to make change means that you're evil. That gets into the all man is evil on some degree. I don't think that's the point of the conversation. To me, anyway, no, I don't think all Marines are evil. I do believe that there are evil Marines, and being a Marine doesn't innately make you an evil person because you're part of a terrible organization.
And if you use the resources that they're giving you for good, does that make you evil?
The reason why Kobe joined the Marines and Garb and other people is to carry out justice. The Marines are the only authority in One Piece that actually carry out justice. While people obviously have their own agenda, their own idea of justice, that's not actual real justice or pure justice. People actually have their own view of justice. And they use that power to like influence.
Nah, you see, I feel like that's also nuanced as fuck, bro. You can't just say the Marines stand for justice. Yeah, that's their slogan or whatever, right? World justice, serving justice to pirates and whatever, protecting the civilians. But obviously, you have those outliers like Luffy's crew. I feel like that's real justice in a sense. Even though Luffy's not trying to be a hero, you know, obviously he's a pirate. But I feel like that is the closest to Actually, nah. Kobe might be him, bro. Kobe might be him in terms of justice. Kobe might be him, bro. That nigga Garp is a bitch, bro. I don't know. I don't care who says what. You guys can type a whole ass paragraph about this nigga, bro. Fuck. That nigga's a bitch, bro. But like that's also nuanced as fuck here. You can't just say like they the only ones that stand for justice. No, bro. That carry out justice. No, bro. No, dog. They carry out their own agendas, as you say. Like literally, the world government is a pirate crew. It's literally a pirate crew, but like the fleet, the grand fleet is so big that the smaller fleets or the more far down the ladder type fleets, in terms of like the different branches of the government, they're not directly talking to the captain or the actual main crew. So they're not really carrying out the will of the main crew, you know? So that's why you have that. It's like an inverse. Imagine if there was a bad seed inside of Luffy's crew in his grand fleet. Would they all be bad? No. But he's basically saying like, since there are people that carry out justice in the world government or the Marines, the whole Marine is just justice basically. No, that's not how it works, bro. That's not how it works, bro. We have to look at the top, what their agendas are, and then we go down the ladder. You have to judge the whole by the head. You have to, bro. You have to, because the head is the one that's literally calling the shots, dog.
To do some good if they can. We have people like Fujitora, Kobe, and Smoker who
I forgot about
believe in
Fujitora and
just what's
Smoker.
doing what is right. And the only system that they could use and work with is the world government.
Fujitora is actually strange. I won't lie to you. I don't know, man. Fujitora is strange. I think there was something that came out about Fujitora and why he plucked out his eyes. He saw, oh, he had to do something to an island. He had to like eradicate an island because of what he saw, or it was an order, or no, he was a bandit or something, and he was trying to get recruit. The details are very hazy, but this nigga plucked out his eyes because I think he was going to do something and he didn't want to see that happen, or he plucked out his eyes because of the travesties of humanity. Basically, I don't know, bro. Something like that.
If they had another system that they could go to that doesn't involve all that what the world government brings, of course they would join that. How well would it work for them? I want to start
Sword.
carrying out my own justice in my own way. Even if you could be right and you're doing a better job, it's not going to last long. You don't have the resources, you don't have the funds, you don't have the power. You're alone unless you get a small group following, but you're just going to be another dragon. And how long that's going to last? The world government can take you out. It took years and years to get to where Dragon's at, and he's still chipping at the surface of what the world government has established. You have to work what you got right now, and if you could change things inside or become a revolutionary, that's your two options. You have to start somewhere.
I think working for an evil organization doesn't automatically make you evil, but staying silent or benefiting from it while knowing the truth can lead you down the wrong path. And I think it really matters the choices you make afterwards. Knowing that truth will define your moral standing. It's like why I get on Garp so bad, because Garp knows the truth. He decided not to make any change, but instead decided to stay within it.
Yeah, like that's what I'm so confused about, bro. After the events of God Valley, bro, like what? How could that shit? How could he still be there? How could he still be there, bro? Maybe what Rox was going after was so crazy that he stayed in the Marines to prevent that happening from the inside. Maybe I don't know. Maybe Roger and him had a talk. You know, pretty sure they did, because Roger literally trusted him with his son. You know, maybe that's it. They had an understanding. I don't know, man. I don't know.
Complain about it.
What the fuck? What was Rox's what was his deal, bro? What was he up to? That's my main question. I hope this has been reaction screen the whole time. Because if it hasn't, I'm out.
Does it make people
No, it hasn't been, bro. I'm so stupid, yo.
like Kobe evil? I do not think that
That's
Kobe
why I need a second monitor, bro. I can't stream on one monitor. I can't keep checking OBS, bro, on one monitor. That shit's so ass.
knows the entire truth, therefore he doesn't have any choice to make. I think the furthest he's ever gone in knowing the truth is that Akainu ended up murking some Marines. I think people like Sengoku, who literally stood where the Gorosei were at one point, letting the world know that an era of babies were to be massacred on the chance it could be the Pirate King's kid.
That's crazy, dog. Like, what? That's so fucked.
Was an evil act, and any Marines who knew of it and decided to stay with the world government and not change the inside of the Marines and benefited from it also should receive that stamp of disapproval of saying that they're good people. But I think sometimes too it goes into the point of where it's usually survival versus obligation. Just being able to survive. Most people who join the Marines are not looking for a way to change the world, but they're looking for a way just to survive in the world. They don't have a place because their kingdom, it was too affected by heavenly tributes and crime, and it led to them
Or they're just running up the bag in the Marines, bro.
bad life. So they found refuge in being with the world government or the Marines, or becoming, this happens in real life too. Or they literally took the Kobe route where we're saying, hey, I'm going to go to the Marines, but I'm also going to change the Marines because of what I seen from Marines when I was first experiencing them. And I think that's a huge difference too in where you gauge a certain person while they're in an organization. And then we have the Aokiji versus Akainu fight. Aokiji doesn't like the way the world government will turn out, therefore he couldn't change the inside, so he left it. You can determine, does that make him a good person for leaving people across the world without somebody in the organization to now change it? The conversation could get really, really deep, but it really depends on your intent and also your circumstances.
Yeah, your intention is the number one thing, bro. Like, evil by association for sure, but obviously your intention, that's like the key thing, bro. You have to be judged off your intention, bro. What are you doing here? You know what's going on up there. Why are you here? Hear what I'm saying? That's the most important thing you have to be asking these Marines.